Hi, I'm Janet Gonzalez. This is third episode of surviving. How I am surviving stage 4 breast cancer. It's not really like how I'm surviving stage 4 breast cancer, really. It's just like how I am living my life while I'm going through my treatments. Today is the day after chemotherapy. I already did a morning video on my morning routine. So now I just set myself up to paint because today is kind of like a low energy day. I just kind of take it easy. I'm staying over at a friend's house in Chicago. It allows me the freedom to relax, not being at home. When I'm at home, I feel like I need to be doing everything. When I'm here, I feel like I need to relax and paint and watch TV. So I got my favorite old Western playing, Lonesome Dove. I've watched it at least 30 times, so I really don't have to watch it. I always know what's going on. So it's nothing that has to hold my interest. I just hear it in the background and I know where it's at in the movie. So I bring this little selection of paintbrushes with me. I don't have all of my paintbrushes. I try to make this like a portable little thing. I leave an easel over here at his house, and he has a bucket. So I use his bucket for water. So you just need a small selection of brushes. This is his bucket I use. I don't try to keep jumping up to go get more water to rinse my brushes. So, what is this? Super Bowl 2011? Oh, it's the bucket. And it's pretty full of water. I have my little color wheel that's very easy to transport. Today I'm not using any glazes. These are just straight colors, so they're kind of thick. They're not running. I'm just showing you the color wheel before I get started of the colors that I have. And these last quite a while because I give them a bath in water. I have distilled water in my spray bottle so my paints don't get moldy. And I give them all like a little light mist over the top. I don't run ceiling fans when I'm painting because it dries my paints out too fast. And this has a cover. So the color that I'm working with, I leave it exposed. The rest of it, I kind of just cover it up so that most of the paints are covered up except for maybe the color that I'm using. So today, the painting that I'm working on, well, and other things that I do to set myself up so I don't have to keep jumping up and down. I go to the bathroom and I prepare myself some snacks. So here I have grapes, black olives. I made the ginger root tea this morning, so these are the chunks of ginger root out of the bottom of the pan. I can eat one of these occasionally. It keeps your stomach from being nauseated. Got some snap peas in here, strawberries. These are delicious. Grapes. And I do have a little blue cheese um, dip for my snap peas. So you keep some little food on hand, so you can't eat a lot because it'll really mess your stomach up when you're doing chemotherapy. But you can have some healthy snacks, and when you chew them till they're liquid. Chew them until when you do go to swallow one of these, it's completely liquid. It's the smoothie maker, your mouth. So you can see it takes a little bit of time to really chew your food. When you're eating food, you should not be talking while you're eating food because what happens when you're talking when you're chewing at the same time? Your air overrides your swallow. So when you are talking, your air opens up, and then the food that's in your mouth will go choking down your throat. You always see people choking on their food when they're talking, when they're eating. And it's because your air overrides the pipe that swallows. So whenever you're chewing your food, just be quiet, chew your food, swallow your food, and then speak. You really won't have to drink a lot of liquids while you're eating because if you really chew your food until it's liquid, you're getting liquids. If you eat 80% a raw diet, that's a lot of water. So you shouldn't be getting thirsty all the time, and it should just keep you hydrated. So you kind of want to eat some fresh fruits, raw fruits, eat raw food as much as possible. Alright, so that's just sitting over there. It's enough for 5 people, but if I'm going to cut something up, I might as well just cut up a bunch. People always stroll. If they come strolling through, then they can have some. So what I'm working on today is this painting that I kind of briefly showed before, and it is a painting of, it's going to have cattails and some little plants down at the bottom. Let's see here. Gotta loosen this up. This one here is kind of a big painting. I'm doing it for my son's bathroom. She wanted me to just do a mural on her wall, but then she's like, well, if I don't like it, I could just paint over it. Well, if I'm going to paint a mural on your wall, I don't want it to just get painted over. So I told her instead, how about if I just paint you a very large picture, and if you don't like it, you could just take the picture down, and maybe somebody else will like it, or maybe it'll look good somewhere else in the house. So in the background of this painting, there's the background scenery is that guy on YouTube that shows you how to paint a river. I watch his YouTube videos and I painted that background. And then the grass blades are nothing else but like a big fat brush like this, and I just use the full size of the brush and I just kind of turn it at the top. And then later I come and put the points. And then as you're layering these, they just decide which grass blade is on top and which one is behind, because the grass blades all kind of go on when everything is wet, and I keep working at it while everything is wet. And then at the end of it, then I do the touch up and decide which blade is in front, which one is in back. I don't worry about that at first. This gives me something to do on my recovery days that I feel is productive. I feel like it's beautiful. I just love looking at it. If you know, like maybe on this video, it doesn't look as bright. Kind of matches my shirt. But it's very brilliant if you see it in real life. It's acrylic paint. I use acrylics. They're not that expensive. I use this easel that I got. Hat was like 60% off, and then they let me use a coupon on it. So Michael's has good deals on stuff like this. You know, you just got to watch for that deal. You got to get yourself a good coupon and catch it on sale on a day when they'll let you use both. So that's that. I'm going to start painting. Like this grass blade right here doesn't have an end on it. So I have a pencil, so I can just kind of draw that. Okay, so now I know, like, it's just, you kind of go, I don't really draw on this piece or that piece, I just kind of go across and then erase if I get a touch on there. And it doesn't really matter because you're going to be painting it anyway. And then I look around, like this one here doesn't really have a good tip on it, and it is going to be the behind one, so I kind of want this to be right to here. Sometimes it helps to give yourself a little outline so that when you start painting, it doesn't just keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's kind of what happened to some of my grass blades, is they got bigger and bigger because I was trying to get the edge. And I'm not really used to painting on canvas. And canvas has that little screen effect, so you get these little squares in there that you gotta fill in. And sometimes when I'm trying to fill in those little squares, my picture gets wider and wider. There probably is a method for avoiding that, but I just don't know what it is. I'm not really a landscape painter, but I think that for a landscape, this picture's turned out really beautiful. I'm not really liking this color right here. I might go over that and brighten that up because it really doesn't have anything down here in the water that matches it. So like here, you know, like this stuff is dragged down, the yellow's reflecting. The sky kind of looks pretty decent, the dark part of the sky, but this color here is not down here. So I'm going to change it. So you could just change things if you want to change them. Maybe we'll just change that right now since I haven't been liking it in the last week or two since I put it on there. So we will go over that with some really bright pink. So anything that you don't like, you just change it. Same thing about yourself. If there's something about yourself, there's no reason to stay that way. You can change it. One of my friends at work, he's like 60 years old, and we were talking about these old time bands that are going to be doing a concert pretty soon out in the West. And he told me, he was like, well, I said, what do you think about going to that concert? And he said, I'm not really thinking about going to that concert. He said, I already lived through that era once, and he's like, I moved on from it. And I was like, that's a pretty good attitude for an old guy. He's not getting stuck in any phase of life. He lived it when it was there, and now he's living something else. Now he listens to rap music, and he knows all these little pop rock, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you know these guys? And he's like, I listen to all different kinds of music, so he's not stuck in anything. So I take a lesson from that. I don't need to get stuck in anything either. So we're just gonna go over this with some different colors because I'm not digging the brown. I'm not rinsing my brush in between. It doesn't have to be rinsed out. These colors should blend anyway. And if you get a little on your grass, don't worry, you can go back over that with green. And then take one of your fluffier brushes and then just blend that out. Just because it doesn't have glaze in it doesn't mean that you can't blend it out. Smooth the edges of it. It's okay. Say like that right there. Oh my gosh, I really don't like that blue right there. You got your bucket of water. You can just kind of erase it. If you got it and it's fresh, you could just erase it. So that's what's nice about letting your layers dry in between, not trying to do it all in one day, is now this is so dry and so permanent that if I painted the whole top of this painting and didn't like it, I could take it to the sink, spray it, scrub it, all my fresh paint would come off, but this paint would stay on my canvas. So it's workable. You can work on it. It's a painting in progress. It needs a bright pink stripe. Like the bright pink stripe they use for cancer treatment. They use that pink ribbon. At first, I wasn't buying into the whole pink thing, but over time, I guess it wore on me. Now my girlfriend's like, I can't remember. She's like, I can't believe it. I couldn't even get you to wear a pink shirt. And she's like, now you have a pink streak in your hair. It's like my pink streak kind of wore out. But my daughter, that's 16 years old, she wanted me to have that pink stripe for a long time, and I resisted. But then I finally did it, and it was okay. It only lasted a short time, but it's just like cancer. It only lasts a short time. You get on top of it, you stay on top of it. There's so many cures for it. There's no reason to think that, oh my God, I'm gonna die, because you're not necessarily gonna die unless you want to die or you just waited too long, or some people die. I think a lot of people don't though. I mean, I guess we all pass on out of this life at some point or another, but it doesn't have to be right now. If you get diagnosed with a bad diagnosis, it doesn't mean that you have to throw in the towel right away. You don't have to be stubborn. And you don't even have to go to the regular medical doctors. You can do all this natural stuff. There's all kinds of websites for that. Dr. Schultz has an incurable program, and I did his program before I did any drug program. It's this Dr. Schultz Incurables program. It's back to back to back to back detoxes that you can do to clean your liver, your kidneys, your bowel. You always start with your bowels. You clear out your bowel system first, and then you can do your kidneys or your liver, doesn't matter which one, but you do have to detox your bowels first. That's where lots of trouble starts, is in the bowel. So in your bowel detox, you're getting all the old fecal matter out of there Then you do your liver gallbladder cleanse to clean out all the stones out of your gallbladder. If you don't have a gallbladder, you can still do it. You just kind of gotta lay in different ways so that your liver can build up some bile so that it's just not dripping, dripping, dripping all day long into your intestines, because without a gallbladder, you don't have that little storage chamber. But you could still do the program. The kidney bladder detox, sometimes you have like that. They were always mean. There's like a million commercials on TV about wetting, like, not bedwetting, but peeing your pants or something. And peeing your pants could be a low grade infection that just never clears up. If you do Dr. Schultz kidney bladder cleanse that I showed you on my other video, the video number 1, it will cure like 99.9% of any bladder infection. Once you clear up that infection, you're sneezing, you're coughing, you're laughing, you're jumping on a trampoline, you're running, you're not peeing your pants anymore. So that whole pee in your pants thing is just probably a mild infection that you can't really tell that you have, but it's been lingering. You need to get rid of it. They say, oh, well, I had all these kids, so now I pee my pants. Well, I have 5 kids, and I don't pee my pants. So that's my story on that. So that's my little bit of pink in that sky, getting rid of that brown streak that I didn't like. So I got all this yellow down here, but I don't have yellow up here. So I will add a little bit of yellow up there because I want my sky, my water to be the reflection of the sky. That's what I'm working on, is my reflection while I reflect with you guys. So just throw some yellow up there. I'm telling you, this stuff is not rocket science. It does not have to be perfect. It's just got to be beautiful in your own eyes, and if you happen to be doing it for someone else, I guess it has to be slightly beautiful in their eyes too. And so usually people like my paintings when I get done with them. I really don't keep very many of my paintings. Oh my gosh, as a matter of fact, I got a really cool painting that I did hanging on the wall in here. Check this out. Let me go get it. Look at this painting. See if I can get the glare off of it. I love this painting. This is my breast cancer awareness painting. The pink in the middle that's around these 2 people's hair. Oh, let's see. It is their hair. Ouch. Okay, so here. Let me get over here so I can see if you guys can see it. This is my cancer awareness painting that I did. Breast cancer awareness. I put the pink around these 2 people's hair because this one here just reminds me of when I was going through the worst part of my treatment. I had the people who came around and they just surrounded me with their love and they hung on to me, and it was a group effort. You had teams of people, couples, you had single people, I had people that were right with me. Reminds me of the doctors that were watching over me. This reminds me of some of my friends that were around me. And then this reminds me of my close family members that were right there with me. So this is my interpretation of my breast cancer awareness, how love heals, and how people come together to heal one another. It's a group effort. It's hard to do it all by yourself. You need help. So this is when I was going through some of my worst phases of cancer. This is one of the pictures that I painted. I love this picture. And I have Janet Saragosa on there. That's my maiden name. That's how I sign my pictures, Saragosa. So anyway, someday I think I might even make prints of this picture because I would like to have these in more places than just one. So that's the picture of my breast cancer awareness. over in the corner of the room, I have Young Living oils. Right now, I have lemon oil diffusing, but there's usually a diffuser going with some kind of oils. When you put thieves in there, in like 12.5 minutes, almost all the bacteria that's airborne in the house gets killed. That stuff is crazy, but I would suggest diffusing oils besides wearing your oils in your diffuser, and make yourself some body oil that has all what your favorite oils are. I just make my favorite oils into a blend with organic olive oil, and that's what I put on my whole body after a shower. I use my own concoction of oils. I really don't use any lotion on my skin. I even really saturate my face with the oils, and then I let it soak in, and then after it, I feel like as much of it could soak in as can, then I'll just blot it with a towel. So pretty much, I mean, I just quit trying to put on things like Christy's grandma, Joanne Legursky. She told me, or she didn't really tell me, she told my daughter. She's like, just tell your mom, like, don't ever put anything on her skin that she can't eat. It makes perfect sense because whatever we put on our skin gets absorbed into our system. So you want to put things on your skin that nourishes your whole body. And olive oil is pretty nourishing. I know it says in the Bible, it's like, oh, destroy everything, but don't destroy the olive trees. So you know that them olive trees are pretty important. And olive oil is pretty important. And this is probably why, because the more we learn about it, the more we know that it cures us. And then also, when you do your liver gallbladder cleanse, olive oil is what you got to chug a lug to clean your liver, because when you drink oil, that's what tells your liver, oh, I need bile. So you chug a lug this glass of every day, more and more oil in it. It's got ginger in it, garlic in it. Um, it tells your liver, I need more bile. So whatever's in your gallbladder will kick into your small intestine. Then your liver will like practically turn itself inside out to deliver enough bile to break down all that oil. And with that rush of bile, flushes the stones out of your gallbladder and out of your liver. So the oil is good. Don't be afraid of oil. Don't be afraid to have a little fat in your diet, because it keeps your organs working. That's the reason why we have a liver. It breaks down oil soluble. Your kidneys filter out water soluble. Your liver filters out greasy stuff. So anyway, now I'm going to start painting on this picture, and when I start painting, I really can't keep talking, and I really don't even breathe. So that's another thing that you have to remember, that when you are painting, breathe. My brother says you gotta step back away from your paintings, you gotta take a look at them, and while you're stepping back and taking a look, really do some deep breathing, because when you don't breathe for a long period of time, you're not detoxing. Because also breath detoxes you. When you got all these chemicals in your system because you just did chemo yesterday, you cannot spend the day holding your breath because you're trying to draw a straight line. So whenever you're painting, just remember to also be breathing. Don't hold your breath for so long that now you're creating a headache just because you're low on oxygen. Breathe. And I just noticed as soon as I started drawing a line that I was holding my breath. So I'm just remembering to tell you to breathe. Incorporate your deep breathing that you've learned. If you're going to a good cancer care clinic, they are sending you to all sorts of therapists. At my clinic, we have the laser lady. She teaches yoga, the massage therapist that does the lymphedema drainage. Yesterday, his hand was getting kind of puffy. Today, it's a little puffy, but it's not horrible. It's not falling asleep as soon as I pick up a paintbrush. So she drains this arm out manually. There's a physical therapist. There's a psychologist. When I was struggling with the way that my body looked and relationships, I went and I talked to a psychologist, and she gave me all kinds of tips on how to deal with it. And it's like they're not just listening to your problems. Oh, you got this problem, that problem. It's sad. They gave me all sorts of solutions. So it's like, oh, well, all I gotta do is pick a solution. I really didn't see my way out of this one. But once I brought it to their attention and had a conversation about it, you're in a little room with just girls, and you got the door shut, and your husband ain't in there, or your boyfriend's not in there, or your kids aren't in there. So you can feel free to talk about things that are really affecting you and your performance and the love of your own self, let alone anybody else. So they really, really, really helped me through some tough times with that. Lucky for me, I had a husband that nothing bad to any of my kids, because you guys know, all of you guys know that I love you. But the husband that I had, and I say had, he told me that me having cancer, that is not his problem. And I was like, well, you know what? You need to divorce me. There's a whole bunch more to it than that. But the bottom line is, if he isn't with me, he's against me, and you can't have that. If they're not going to help you and they think that me having cancer is not my husband's problem, then he's not my problem. Like, okay, so this little tumor I got going on is not your problem, but your whole self over there, it becomes not my problem. You need something, you better, like he already had someplace else to go get it, so head on out and go get it, because I'm done. You need to divorce me. And that was like a total weight lifted off of me, is getting rid of that big dead weight. So, you know what? Sometimes you gotta say good riddance to bad rubbish. I'm sorry, but if he's not gonna help you, he's gonna drag you down. He will drag you into your grave, and you don't want to go there. Then you need to start clearing out the closet. You need to get rid of things that are making you sick. If that's something that's making you sick, you need to analyze the situation. You need to discuss the situation, and if that's what needs to be done, then move through it. Man, I was standing in front of that judge. I was bald headed. I was sick. I was dying up there. And finally, a year later, when we still weren't divorced yet, I told the judge, it's like, you know what? At this point, all I want out of this marriage is a life. You need to let me out. And whatever, he kept whatever belonged to him. I kept whatever belonged to me. There was nothing paid back or forth. We just got divorced that day. And I've been getting healthier and healthier ever since. So, anyway, just so you know, that's just part of it. That could be part of your process. It's like you're not only going through cancer treatments, you might be going through a divorce. You might be wondering, like, how am I ever going to get a boyfriend again? Like, now look at me, I'm all destroyed on the outside. But you know what? It ain't got to destroy you on the inside, because we're valuable. People are valuable. Your life is valuable. We matter in the world. We matter on the earth. We're like the vibration that we send out, it just keeps going. It's like you send out vibrations, like people are like, I'm picking up your vibes. Well, you know what? I finally understand what that means, to be picking up somebody else's vibes, because vibrations heal us. You can listen to vibration, like the little bowl that you, we do the bowl. There's some big bowls. If you go to the store, I don't have one of those, but you can have somebody get that thing going and put it around your whole body and feel the vibrations. My girlfriend uses tuning forks on me when she does raindrop therapy, and that vibration jogs things around. So just surrounding yourself with good vibrations. Open up the windows, listen to the birds, love yourself. So for now, I got to get painting, and so this is going to get kind of boring. Maybe you would love to watch me paint, but I don't really have any music or anything to play in the background. You might like listening to my Lonesome Dove movie. I don't know. But I'm going to just do some details on this, and then I'll show it to you later. Alright, for now, Hawapanapano. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Amen. Hawapanapano. Pray that over your family. Pray it right to your family. Pray it to your children. Alright, Hawapanapano. I love you. Bye.